Good morning. I just wanted to do this video really quick, just with a little update of kind of what my plan is going to be. I did not finish the web sleuth video. If the consensus is that no one wants to finish it, then I will watch it myself and just continue on with the notes that I had, and that's fine. So I believe that after watching so far what I have, I think it's more important than ever to get out what I took notes of and observed from a past interview, because it will only shine a bigger light on exactly what I saw in last night's live. It's extremely long, and I have so many emotions for myself, for others, and then there's also a lot of really strong emotions that I felt for Sebastian. And so I do want to caveat that if you have not watched the Web Sleuth interview, I felt this, but somebody else, at least one or two other people, commented on it. Trigger warning: if you have ever been a victim or are even currently in a situation of living with someone who is an abuser, this would be an extremely difficult video for you to view. And when you get into it, you might think you're handling it okay, and then later emotions can set in. So I do want to caveat that if the discussion on that is continued, to please be aware that when we refer to the Web Sleuth interview, when I do come back on for that, that if you're highly sensitive to that, it might not be a good idea to watch it, especially depending on where you're at in your recovery process. It was very emotional, and I think a lot of the emotions just don't hit in the moment because you're just kind of just in shock of what was going on. But I think it's very important that I get this video recorded regarding this prior interview, to get on there. There are still questions. I have questions. I still have a list of questions, and some of them I would be personally comfortable directly asking of Seth, and I need to go back to that list to determine if all of them were answered. And then there's questions that I've mentioned many times that I don't think asking him publicly would be helpful to the investigation side of things, because depending on the answer to those questions, I don't want to tip anybody off, and I don't want to set anyone off. And I also don't like to preview certain questions because it gives the other person time to plan their response if they are that kind of a person. So what I've decided to do is maybe I will discuss some of the comments I think or questions I would ask of them, any of the three of them, but also Seth, that I'm not concerned if the answer was public. And I think what I'm going to do with the rest is I might just craft them into a letter, and also include some of my important findings and thoughts, and I might just send that off to his private investigators and law enforcement, and they might not read it, they might not take notice of it, and they might think it's all hogwash. But what do you do other than try to do your best to help? At least I think it's helpful. So that's kind of the plan. I hope that you get the opportunity to watch that. And I always like to believe that you're there with your notebooks and taking notes of things too. And sometimes we all hear things differently, interpret them differently, or might have a different thought after hearing something than somebody else. And I think that sharing those things collectively can maybe help get to a consensus. So I do hope you will continue to watch and follow those. And again, I also encourage any of you that are new to my channel, yes, of course, like, subscribe, because then maybe I will have a voice, and maybe the future of this community and the goals of it, which if you don't know about it, I have talked about it in prior videos, what the goal is, because I have a goal and a purpose in mind, will help get the word out for the right reasons. But I also encourage you to go to the community tab, because there are constantly other faces being shared there, and updates and things like that that are important, because there are other people that need help too. And if you can even do the slightest of sharing or commenting with a possible resource you know of, depending on where you are, that is helpful. So that's what we want to be. So I thank you guys for tuning in, but I just wanted to share that update. I barely got any sleep overnight. So I'm gonna do my best to do this in a timely fashion, but I also don't want to be a zombie. So that's what I got for today. I look forward to continuing to hear your thoughts and your opinions, because they matter. They absolutely matter. And just because Chris doesn't think certain things are important or relevant doesn't mean that they're not. So I couldn't disagree with them more on about 80% of the things that are asked of him. So I appreciate all of you guys. Anybody who takes even 5 minutes to watch a video I do, or to follow me on Patreon or YouTube or Facebook, I deeply, deeply, deeply appreciate you, because you're allowing me to be heard. And I hope as I grow, this means all of you will also be heard. And that is super important to me, because there are a lot of us out there that have important value to contribute, and really want to figure out how some of these things can be caught sooner, if not prevented. So I hope you join us for the long haul. I really, really do. I'm not perfect. I absolutely can have my mind changed. But I love critical thinkers. I absolutely love them. So thank you for watching and tuning in, even if it was for one case, one video. I appreciate you. So I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and maybe I will see you live later. At a minimum, I hope to get the recorded video of reviewing this older interview posted first. So thank you again. I appreciate you, and you enjoy your Sunday.